Hello. We're all very happy to be here tonight. First of all, I'd like to introduce my boys. This is Chucko, and this is Buster, and this is Pete. I'm David Lynch, and this is Bob, and this is Dan. But they tell me that there's this all-pervading happiness underneath everything. And the more time I spend with them, the more I believe it. And so we wish you peace and happiness. Thanks a million.
David Lynch is a filmmaker, artist, musician, author, painter, and so much more. He was a visionary, being the creator of movies like Eraserhead, The Elephant Man, Mulholland Drive, Dune, and with some of his more popular works being Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks. David Lynch was one of a kind. He basically added his own spin to anything, which made him so different, and his art really reflected the way that he was as a human.
The fuck is David Lynch doing? He's just sitting on the fucking corner of La Brea in Hollywood with a fucking cow.
I went out with a cow and a placard for Laura Dern. It was a necessity because I didn't have the money to buy ads in the trades.
Which made him so different, and his art really reflected that. There's people who have spent days and weeks and years trying to figure out what was actually happening in these films and shows and artworks. I've watched several interviews of David Lynch, and everything that he says could easily be made into a quote.
It comes like on a TV in your mind.
There's no one I've ever seen or witnessed who's even in the same world as he is. There's something so special about David Lynch, and I think that's why his passing has affected so many people, was because there is no one like him. There never will be. Not just movies, but also his art, his painting. When describing his creative process, describing it as
no chef ever takes credit for making the fish. It's just preparing the fish. So you get an idea, and it is like a seed. And in your mind, the idea is seen and felt, and it explodes it's got electricity and light connected to it. It has all the images and the feeling, and it's like in an instant you know the idea. Then the thing is translating that to some medium. It could be a film idea or a painting idea or a furniture idea. It doesn't matter. It wants to be something. It's a seed for something. So the whole thing is translating that idea to a medium. The idea is more than you realize. And if you're true to it, when the work is finished and some years go by, you can even get more out of it if you've been true to the idea in the first place.
I have to admit, I am fairly new to the world of David Lynch and his art. And when I was first introduced to him, I was quite intimidated. I didn't understand a lot of it, and I still don't think I ever will fully understand or know what's going on. When I was watching his art, on consuming it, I've never ever seen anything like this. Those little moments when you feel like you break it or you figure it out. It's those little moments that let you think in a different way. And I think that's how David Lynch wanted you to interpret everything that he did in your own way. Knowing that he is no longer here to expand that world, his legacy and expression of the arts will definitely go on for generations, and we are so lucky to live in a time where we have this art, we have art from so many people who have left us with these amazing forms of their interpretation of it. There's nothing more giving than when someone creates something for you, or something for themselves more than anything, and then gives it to other people to watch and explore as well. We're so lucky to have that, and especially with the more and more time goes on, the more and more things come out, and it isn't humans being able to do those things, it's AI and everything. We're so lucky to still have these amazing, talented people who have left us with so much art and so much amazing material to just fully indulge ourselves on and get lost in. But this morning while writing this script, I was listening to his music, and it's so interesting to me how throughout the different arts he has done, painting and music and film, there's always a sense of futuristic, and that's something I've gotten with a lot of his work, is the sense of the future. Even with the work that was generations ago, like in the 70s, 80s and 90s, it all felt very futuristic. Even nowadays it still stands up when I watch those things. I think this is very unique. No one will ever know what his interpretation was, but I think that's how he kind of wanted it, if that makes sense. I watched Blue Velvet a few months ago. I remember I watched it and I had never seen anything quite like it, and it was almost like I would follow along and then I just kind of it wouldn't be what I was thinking would happen. At that time, I had started watching Twin Peaks, and I didn't realise how they were both made by the same person until I thought, this is very similar to Twin Peaks. So I looked it up, and that's when I realised they were both made by David Lynch. And once I found that out, it all just made total sense. This video is a very quick one, just to, say thank you to David Lynch and to remember him and his art, as we are so lucky that he has left us with a whole bucket load of content that we are able to just watch and learn from. Thank you all for watching, and it is a hard time and it is quite upsetting, and I didn't really know what to do and I wanted to do something. Yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves and carry on creating art and being explorative and creating ideas, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Like, whenever we die, do you believe that then the consciousness doesn't continue, or do you believe it continues? Like,
continues, continuum. You are you, and you just keep being you. It's like there's a guy in a very old car. He kind of drives it down to the junkyard and sits in it for a while, and then gets out of the car and closes the door and walks away. The car is the body,
right?
But you just keep going.